Howdy everyone, thanks for watching CheapShot. Today I'm going to show you the easiest way to do a multicolor print on your 3D printer. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode of CheapShot was brought to you by the oil stain on my Garage 4. The oil stain on my Garage 4 is the only oil stain that I'll trust on my Garage 4. Check the description to get your own oil stain on your Garage 4. So there is a ton of different ways of which you can change the color of your 3D print, or if you are running out of filament, how to do a spool change. Like I said, I'm going to show you the easiest way. It involves no G-code manipulation. It involves no pausing. It is by far the easiest way to change it. Is it the best way? That's arguable. I believe it is, but other people may have a different opinion. So like I said, this is the easiest way to change a spool while you're mid-print. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your next color is primed and ready to go. So I right now am printing a benchy with gray. I'm going to switch to black. And what do I mean by primed? I mean I want to take my flush cutters and I just want to make sure that that nice cut at the beginning is ready to go. We want to be nice and fast with this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the feed rate down as low as it'll go, and then I'm just going to pull the filament out and swap it. That's what the FR over here stands for. FR, 100% of the feed rate that you have it sliced to. So I have this sliced to 50 millimeters a second, which means if I crank it down to, I think 10% is the lowest it'll go, we'll be printing at 5 millimeters a second. That's pretty slow. That'll give me enough time to swap the filament, push it in, wait a little bit to let it warm up, and then push it in some more. One key thing is you want to make sure that your filament is not retracted if you have retraction set on when you push it all the way in. Otherwise it's going to jam up or it may not reach that hot end as it starts printing as you speed it up. So let's do this. Let's take this knob and we're going to crank it all the way down to 10% feed rate. We'll give it a second. It'll take a second to slow down as it goes through its commands. And once it does, we're just going to yank that filament out. Put our new filament up top. And guide it in. Now, sometimes with my printer, I have a hard time getting in the Bowden tube, so I remove the Bowden tube quickly and then rethread it back on by hand. I can see that I'm not retracted, so I can push it all the way into the hot end. I felt some resistance. I'm just going to wait a second, kind of let it heat up a little bit, then try and just give it a little bit more of a push. And then that's all there is to it. Now I can crank my feed rate up back to 100%. And we can watch as it goes from gray to black. Might take a little bit to get all that gray out of there. But it looks like we can just start seeing that it's now printing black. Now some things you can do if you want to take this to the next level is you could have a purge block here and wait for it to go to the purge block, and then that's when you do a swap. I like to maybe wait for it to be doing some infill. That way if there is some space where it's not extruding, that's inside, I don't see it. But honestly, just doing it randomly, I've never had a problem. So we'll let this benchy print. Maybe I'll swap it out a few more times just for fun, and we'll see what it looks like when it's all done. So here we have our benchy. We can see that we have the black and the gray layers, and they look great. They transition quite nicely, and I don't really see any big issues with it. And you know, like I said, this is the fastest and easiest way to do it. You could do it 100 different ways, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, this is the way that I like to do it, is slowing it down and just changing out the filament. I don't mess with stops, I don't mess with G-code manipulation. This is all I do. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching CheapShot.